Moving on to the NFC North now. My Detroit Lions division that has been dominated by the Packers in recent history and not even just so recent history. They won 13 games last year, so let's check out the odds. I'm sure they're the heavy favorite. They might be the heaviest favorite. Oh, we don't have the odds for that one right now. Okay, all right. Hold on.
Hey, hold your horses there.
We'll wait for it. Do we just sit here in silence? Pete, the Packers are the favorite, though, right? You can tell me that.
Yeah,
they are the favorite, heavy favorite here. Right. We're efforting the odds for them. So they won 13 games last year. We're the top seed in the NFC. Got to the playoffs. We all saw how that went, though. 11.5. 11.5 is their win total. They won 13 games the last, 3 years in a row. We got the odds. They are back. I filibustered there long enough. Not that I needed to. Packers minus 160. Vikings plus 225. Lions plus 900. Bears plus 1,500. So, yep, Packers overwhelming favorite. The question is, will they win more than 11.5 games?
I mean, this Vegas has got this one right on the money because I don't see 14-3 or 13-4 happening. I'm going to go the under here too.
Wow.
Yeah, but again, I clarify it. 11-6 or 10-7 and lost some heartbreakers. You know, I in my heart of hearts and what I wrote down, to me, I think they're an 11-6-ish type of football team.
I'll tell you right now, they're only underdogs in 2 other games.
Yes,
right now.
Right.
Week 3 at Tampa, Week 8 at Buffalo. They're favored in every other game.
The Titans on the schedule, the Rams late in the year in LA, at Miami late in the year. I think again, those are New England in Week 4 with that defense and your not so proven wide receivers and company there. I guess I'm a little bit of I got to see it to believe it here with the new offense, the new guys. I know Rodgers is going to be damn good. I do know that. I know their O-line's good. It's still, the league is set up right now to tear people apart in the passing game. And I don't know if they can just tear people apart. Their defense, it does look like it's going to be damn good. I guess I'm a little bit of I'd like to see it or believe it. If they start off 4-0, then I'm going to be wrong, and they're going to be 12-5 or 13-4 or something like that. But I don't sit here and go, Minnesota to start the year at Minnesota with a new coaching staff to me is scary. It always is scary. You're always at a disadvantage when you're going against the new coaching staff because you go, I don't know exactly what they're going to do. What's this guy's MO? He's been an assistant somewhere. O'Connell and the defensive coordinator have been not the play callers for their defensive. So now they're calling play. You don't know exactly. That can be tough. And then we know playing in Minnesota is tough. But if they go 4-0, I go, oh, well, I'm going to be wrong. But I certainly can see losing to Tampa and New England, and we're sitting here going, oh, they're 2-2. Hey, the lights are off, baby.
Are out.
Setting the mood. Setting the mood.
What's going on here,
I guess
Pete?
I spoke bad against Aaron Rodgers. And
he goes, shut off the lights.
They struck.
Yeah.
There
they're
it
back.
goes. The lights are back.
See, everything comes back. We get the odds eventually.
Yeah.
The lights will come back on. Mm-hmm. This is great.
But I'm going under. I'm going under. And I guess there's a part of me that's playing the angle of it's 3 years in a row of awesome 13-3 type of seasons. And I just going to say, okay, it's you get worn out.
Yeah.
And you haven't got there yet. And, man, so I guess I'm going to say there's a little bit of a drop-off in Green Bay. Clearly in the playoffs, but just a little bit of a drop-off.
So in that discussion you mentioned the Minnesota Vikings, the new regime coming in here, and they are a team that did pop up a few times when I was doing the whole roster thing, best roster. Some of those position groups on defense, linebacker, it's like, oh, that's pretty good. Vikings.
No doubt.
Running back, oh, that's pretty good.
Right.
And so they do have some talent on that team in Minnesota. They won 8 games last year. They were 8-9. 9.5 is the over-under for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going under here.
Okay.
I'm definitely going under. I am with you, too. If there's a dark horse team that I'm not going to put in the playoffs where you'd go, oh, I think maybe this could be one of them. The Vikings are one of them. But I think what bothers me a little bit is, you're right, there's some splash in the roster. But I don't know if there's enough steak and potatoes. I think that's what bothers me. And maybe a little bit's going to depend on how dominant the offensive line is in the run game. But I think the defense is still where I look at it and go, secondary, I don't think they're ready for prime time quite yet. Linebackers, definitely impressive there. And Kendricks is still a baller. Defensive line, There's a little different look to them. There's a little more size-oriented. But I don't sit there and go, oh, wow. Other than Danielle Hunter, I don't go any guy and go, oh, man, he's going to be a real handful. I like respect to Dalvin Tomlinson in the middle. Like he's going to, I know, clog up some running lanes. But it's not at the point of his career or the type of player where I go, oh, this is like Chris Jones. You better double team him every play or something like that, right? So that's where I just go under. And then, again, where as much as I'm excited about them and their new coaching staff, these are guys that really haven't had to call the plays or do that. This is going to be new to them too. This is not like Sean McVay or Shanahan who've been calling plays and now are the head coaches. These are guys that are underneath these guys and now, oh, wait, I got to do it now. I haven't done it. I've been a part of the process of making the donuts, but now I got to like deliver the donuts and make sure everybody thinks they're delicious and all that. And I'm not sure on that. I got to see it a little first there.
Yeah.
You know, Zadarius Smith, what do we expect from him? I'm just not sure there either. You know, he's one of those guys where if he has this great year, you go, oh, whoa, okay, the defense is better than I thought it was going to be. But so I guess that's where I stand with them. But I'm going to go under here with them for sure.
That makes sense. I've never heard the donut analogy before. Have you used that before?
Well, I think I have every now and then. Because remember when we were waking up, it was time to make the donuts? Do you remember that Dunkin' Donuts commercial?
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yep.
Time to make the donuts. The guy with the bald head and the mustache and all that, right?
It's like he's the guy that makes the donuts.
Yeah, he's the guy that makes the donuts.
His assistant?
Right.
If you throw him there?
He knew he'd helped him make the batter and everything, but he never had to actually bake it and put the frosting on and the sprinkles and do it.
Has he even grown a mustache before?
Exactly,
we don't know.
Right. We don't know.
He's
and
trying
then
that for the first
how
time.
you deliver them is important with a smile on your face and like you give the guy, oh, this is good. Look at this guy. He's confident in how he gives it to me. I don't know about that yet.
Takes a couple years
to
figure out how to deliver the donuts.
You're funny.
I like that. All right, so under on the Minnesota Vikings. Man, we might go under on this whole division here. Now that
the
I
whole
look
conference,
at it.
the whole conference, I'm going under here.
I know. We got to make sure this math. No, the math works out because you have the Eagles going 17-0, so that'll cover a lot of these unders here. Lions, they were 3-13-1 last year. 6.5 is their over-under. That's a little aggressive. That's doubling their win total and then some to go the over. They should be better. I hope you're going to say over, but I don't know.
I'm right on the fence with them. My
sure.
heart wants to say over all the way.
Thank you.
Right? It really does. And my brain wants to say over except for one guy. And you know who that is. And I know you wore your Detroit Lions blue today for this. But I mean, to me in those 50-50 games where, as you hear me say all the time, the league is set up for the quarterback to take over in the last 3 or 4 minutes of a game, you're one of the few teams out there that doesn't have a quarterback that I trust that can really do that. And I'm sorry. I like the guy. I know that. So it's like right there. I mean,
don't let me influence you.
I know. So here's what I look at just when I break it down. And again, there's some things about their team that their O-line and D-line will match up against every team in football. There's not going to be any team that's just going to dominate them up front. So I love that. You know, Okuda, can he show up and be a shutdown corner that they need to? You know, the secondary itself, is there enough playmakers back there? You know, Aiden Hutchinson, how good is he? And, you know, the receiver position, it's solid. I really wish our Jamison Williams was out there. And if he comes back like balls of fury and just on fire, I'd go, oh, my gosh, whoa.
Chark is there now.
Chark is there. It's going to be nice.
St. Brown had a pretty good rookie year.
I like that crew right there. Hawkinson's a really good tight end. I'm going to go over here.
Wow.
Like 7-10 over. They're the team that I think can be a little bit of a surprise. I look at their schedule and go, you know, they're the team that's finding their confidence. But look at weeks 2, 3, and 4. I just go, they're not outclassed by those teams for sure. That will be crucial. Can they come out of the first 4 weeks and be 2-2 or maybe even 3-1? And then I would go, uh-oh. And then I know they got a little tough stretch. But then you get into, you know, weeks 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 there on the right column, right, Ahmed?
Yep.
And again, I don't see any team there that's just going to outclass them. I don't see – it's not like it's, you know, the Ravens, the Packers, the Bucks, you know, the 49ers. These are teams that are all kind of in the same position they are. So they have a few spots on their schedule where I just go they could maybe make a little run. They could go through that 5-game stretch and maybe be 3-2 or 4-1. I don't think that's crazy. So I'm going to go with the over here.
Wow.
All right. I'm not saying playoffs, but I'm saying 7-10. I would love it if they were 8-9 and 9-8 in the playoffs. I would love it. I'm rooting for them so hard. I really am.
I love that they have the Bills though on Thanksgiving, so the whole nation can see.
I know
it's us get waxed.
We're gonna play the toughest team of all.
It's like they're getting better. They're actually playing pretty well.
Watch you guys.
They go, all right, we'll watch it, Ahmed.
Well, you're playing the Giants the week before, so you never know. It might be like a scrimmage, a build-up game.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that made my day right there. You took the over on the Lions. The only way my day could get better is if you take the under on the Chicago Bears, my most hated franchise.
Yes.
6-11 last year. Justin Fields looked good. You like Justin Fields. You worry that he doesn't have enough help around him in 2022. 6.5 over-under for the Bears.
Ooh. I'm going to go over here.
Ooh.
But barely. Again, I want to clarify that too. I mean, it's barely. Like 7-10. Maybe 8-9. I wrote down like 3 records with them. I wrote 7-10, 8-9, 6-11. Like, if it goes bad. But I like the way things have looked on both sides of the ball in the preseason. I do. I think they're going to be better coached than they have been the last few years. Not necessarily maybe on the defensive side of the ball, but I think equal to it. Their defensive coaching's been good the last few years. Offense definitely upgrade. Justin Fields is really good. He's really good. I like the way Montgomery looks. Montgomery looks like he took some weight off and is faster and quicker. So, listen, their first 2 games of the year, I don't expect them to win. I think they're going to be 0-2. Can they win the next 2 and be 2-2, though, against the Texans and Giants, where there's like, again, those are teams that we know that they're not outclassed by them. So if they can weather the storm there and be 2-2, then I go, okay, they got a chance to be that, 7-win football team. But if they start 0-2, which I totally expect, and then they beat the Texans, right? And then they lose to the Giants, and it's 1-3. I'd go, oh shit, they're in trouble here, because then the Vikings, the next one could go either way. But then we start to get to teams where I go, no, the teams they're playing here in week 6, 7, 8, 9 definitely have better rosters than the Chicago Bears.
And they don't get their bye until week 14,
That's
which
late.
I don't really look at the byes all that often, but for a team that might be struggling, you might need that bye a little earlier just to reset.
Yeah, they definitely a very younger team trying to find their footing, new coaches, all of that. But I really do look at that week 3, those weeks 3, 4, and 5 to kind of dictate how the rest of the season will look. Because, you do again, you look at some other parts in weeks 10, 11, and 12, Lions, Falcons, Jets. Again, I have no problem saying this. I know we got to play it on the field, but those rosters do not outclass them.
Sure.
Barring crazy injuries to where you just go, oh, they got no chance in that game. Like, I don't see they're not going to beat the 49ers or the Packers unless Trey Lance throws 3 interceptions and just does something crazy, something unforeseen that we don't expect. They're not in the class of those teams.
So it could be a pretty competitive division, you think, here with the Packers.
I think it's a little more than people are
Packers coming back to earth, maybe those bottom 2 teams.
Clearly the Kings, but not the Kings like they've been the last few years.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.